Hello, I am Fikili, the Dark Feminina. Welcome. Blessings to the Almighty Creator, the Qemam, Nefr, Neb, to whom we owe everything. And blessings to you for stopping this way this day in December. Thought I'd give a encouragement, a word, a tell, a Kyalo. There's a reason, religious and historical, for the similarity in the words uku kel, kelela, and to tell. All languages come from the Nile Valley. And did you know that the original language of the world is what is today known as Swahili, Kiswahili, Swahili of Tanzania and East Africa, most notably spoken in. And the second language is TuTusi, Zulu, the second language of the world. And the third language of the world is the Kyalo TuTusi Met, the language that most people associate with ancient Egypt. That's the temple language that's written across the temples. Daily language for most of Kyalo TuTusi, Mboku, Mizraim, Egypt's past was Tuko, isiZulu, the daily language, and also used in worship, in teaching, and in recording histories. That's a fact that is worth a prayer for the truth of and a divinary. So the first language of the world, spoken by everybody before different languages were brought about by the one creator before Babel, was Swahili, today known as Swahili. The second language created is Zulu, Tuko, Kyalo TuTusi, and Kyalo Ko. It's now the majority spoken language of Kyalo Ko, which is South Africa. The 12th original kingdom of Kyalo, and therefore of the world, to be respected, not undermined. And the third language, as I say, is the Kyalo TuTusi Metu. Met meaning word. Metu, words, plural, word plural. And the result of the first three languages, they became 4, then 5, then 6, then 7. And then all the other languages of the world come, their patterns, there are keys that unlock how to learn one language from another. The creator is fascinated. The creator likes patterns and repeating patterns and similar patterns and repeat, and then this is linked to this and this is linked to another word because of a prophetic word from the creator in times past. And it's worth praying for the truth of this and to divinary it for the truth, because the world is so disparate these days, and Kyalo doesn't have enough respect. Even if things were working well, Kyalo, that is Africa's religion, her faith in God, didn't understand there was only one God. It's Kyalo that taught the world about the one God. When people were going a little astray, it was Kyalo that reminded people. Oh dear. Kyalo is a place to go to for learning, not fearful of because you'd be told that there is just a land, a continent of ignorance. That's it's complex in how that came about. Bad movements from within Kyalo, bad movements against Kyalo and against each other and all around the world as today. But Kyalo was the place for faith. Herodotus, the Greek, and he really is Greek, historian, did notice that the Egyptians were noticed for piety. And people who travelled throughout Kyalo noticed a lot of amazing, fascinating things. And every nation, I mean, look at Victorian England. There were places where you did not want to put yourself. You wouldn't travel along certain routes, certain alleyways, because you know that in that area or that village even, things have gone wrong, and the best thing to do is to pray, cross yourself, and take another route, or just not go there at all, anywhere near it. So, but languages and real history can help people respect God. Then Kyalo, starting at Kyalo to see the Nile Valley, even though the world generally does respect ancient Egypt, they've also endured their fair amount of insult and slander. Didn't understand there was only one God because they worshipped the Nefr, who are the super saints. Who it's confused understandings of the Bible has led to a lot of insult and silly talk against Egypt, therefore the whole continent. But honoring Kyalo helps, even when we may not be immediately Kyalo ourselves, to honor Kyalo, whatever your color or race or nationality or true ethnicity, whoever you are, because Kyalo is the original continent, the original long, and Kyalo TuTusi is the head of Kyalo, called Africa. What that means is that to bless, the head blesses the blesser. It's a good truth to bear in mind. Pray about it, divinary, and remember, in whichever religious tradition that you practice or follow, but the truth of these matters that is fascinating, and honoring Kyalo, helping, blessing Kyalo, praying for her to be built up, doing things that that build Kyalo, Africa, up instead of undermining her, blesses the blesser. That's the way the Creator has set creation. So you want Europe to do well, then bless and truly help Kyalo, not be spending your time insulting her, only reporting on the bad things, and only referring to history books that kind of are very hard to read, especially if you don't know how to read them. Honor Kyalo, bless her, build her up. Not to truly honor, it's not you say somebody's wrongdoing was good, but sometimes what seems wrong was actually holy and right, and they were doing it in Europe too, if you knew Europe's history well enough. It's and the same for the Middle East and for Asia and the Americas. So blessing different continents, it blesses the blesser. Whereas if you're unjust, that undoes you personally, and it undoes the nation to which you belong, where you live, even where you do most of your work. Even it does an undoing, because you're being unjust, therefore you're being not holy. Yeah. So important truths to bear in mind, and remember those first three languages: Swahili the first, Zulu the second, Tuko, and the temple language of ancient Egypt, the third language of the world. Another fact is that millions, about 2/3 of the world's population today know this, and many can still speak it and still understand it, even if they're pretending they haven't got a clue about any African language. That's usually nerves speaking, okay? Sometimes it's nasty plots, often it's nerves. They don't know how you're going to react if you don't know this. And everyone's nervous of royal truths these days. Be prayerful about that, that people overcome, because it's all from the one Creator. Amen. Amata, Jesus Christ is Lord. They are the same. Amen and amen.